Hey everyone, different video here. Please excuse the mess in the corner over there. I'm going to clean that up in a sec. I packed some items up during that rough patch we had a month or so ago in case I needed to evacuate. Hurricane season is over, or it's about to be over. But during that spell, I packed up a lot of stuff in case we had to go, and I found these little cardboard boxes actually fit a lot of jewel cases. So what we have in here are games that I particularly like, or maybe I haven't got around to. I just didn't want to have to rebuy, and I could fit a ton of these in my trunk. So I do have a number of them. I'm just going to show a few here. That's because my wife's friend's coming in from out of town tomorrow, and she's going to be in the room these were stored in. I was told to put everything away. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go over the games I was wanting to bring with me. First up is Daytona USA Circuit Edition. Not just that, but this is the Netlink compatible one for the Japanese Saturn. I like the art on this one a lot. Circuit Edition in general, it was okay. They definitely improved the graphics some, but they tweaked things with the handling I wasn't very fond of. I mean, ideally you can get both, or you should have both because they're really cheap, but I prefer the original. Next up is Symphony of the Night. Well, that's how we know it over here, but it's Castlevania. I think it says it in English. Here we go. Well, that's in Japanese, but you see Dracula X. This has shot up in price recently. I got it fairly cheap, but I will say this. Excuse the coughing. Still have that sore throat. Not worth the extra money. There's Maria and some other editions which are novel, but they're not that well implemented, and it actually has worse performance than the PlayStation version. So just go ahead and get that one. I mean, it's a great collector's piece to have, and it's pretty novel to have a PlayStation Classic on the Saturn like that, but it's not a must by any means. Next up is Steam Gear MASH. This is an isometric action game. The camera got really dark, it looks like. I'm not sure if oh, there we go. The screen got dark, not the camera. Sorry about that. Steam Gear MASH, isometric action game that I am really bad at. I have a hard time judging depth and distance with these games. It is very difficult for me, but I like the art style a lot. Next up, Assault Suit Lanos 2, a very fun run and gun action game with mechs. What makes these particularly enjoyable is that you get to unlock weapons and customize your loadout. There's also some story sequences. This is the successor to what we have as Target Earth. And you might be more familiar with the series because the recent PS4 physical and digital release came out from Rising Star Games. That one's enjoyable too. This is the follow-up for the Saturn. A lot of fun if you like those games. I'm a sucker for mechs. Oh, this is it Asuka? 120% limited. This is a fighter, 2D fighter. I bought this because a fan translation patch came out that also tweaked some mechanics, and so I wanted to try it out. It's a fun series, or release. Bulk Slash. This is one I was kind of surprised at. I had read so many good things about it. By the time I finally got around to playing it, I found it's okay, above average, but it commands a high price, and people were really praising it, and I'm not really sure. I mean, it's fun and it's unique, but I don't know, it just didn't grab me. But one thing you will find odd is in every copy, or most of them, the manual is glued to the case because this is supposed to be like an embossed, or you can tell it looks like it's embossed, but it's not. However, there's some sort of adhesive they used or chemical to make it look like that. I want to say that's why it's stuck, but yeah, every one I found on eBay had the manual stuck to the case, and so does this one. Poo Li Rula, is that how you pronounce it? Very odd game I picked up from McFly. This is pretty tame on the back. It's an action beat 'em up with unique graphics. It looks really good, but it has some strange levels. Let's see. Pick one at random here. Not one to come up. Oh, this is Terror Ring Saga. Kind of a spiritual successor to Fire Emblem. The studio, or some of the people that worked on Fire Emblem, went to make this, and Nintendo sued them. They had to push the release date back quite a bit. But there's a fan translation patch for this. I have a video of gameplay up, and it's a lot of fun. Oh, this is another PlayStation release. This is Raiden. I forgot what it's called. Raiden Aces, I think. This is, oh, it's a budget release you see here. Forgot the name. Normally they have English on the side, but not this one. It's riding for the PlayStation. Oh, this is Flying Squadron KO2. It is missing, I think it's supposed to come with a calendar or something like that. It's missing that. This is a combination of 2D side-scroller and shooter. Traditional shooter, not like the run and gun type. It's okay. It's also expensive, and I bought this probably like 4 years ago before. I mean, it was a little expensive then, but it's really expensive now, and it's all right. I like the character design. It's kind of wacky, and the enemies are silly, but I like kind of lightheartedness when I play games like that. But it's, for the price, it's okay, but at this point, I think it's more of a collector's piece. There's a way better shooters on the system, including this, the Gradius Deluxe pack. What's fun about this, or interesting I should say, is that inside is a paper Vic Viper you can put together. The guy still had it when I bought it, and I haven't put it together obviously because it would probably tear within a few days, but it's pretty neat that they did that. This is what, Gradius 1 and 2? Yeah, for the Saturn. Let's see. Oh, here's the vanilla release of Cyberbots. Much better if you have the 4 meg cart of the Capcom 2D mech fighter for Saturn. There's also a PlayStation version. The PlayStation version is actually available on PSN as well. This is Toe Ball number 2 for the PlayStation. There's a fan translation for the adventure mode, which I've had a video up of, and it's pretty fun. Visually, one of the smoothest games you'll see on the PlayStation. I love the art style. Performs really well. Let's see what else we got. This is the game Paradise. Oh, this is a shooter with kind of wacky levels. You'll see, you'll like fight actual arcade games and whatnot. Very fun, very colorful, lighthearted. Let's see. Oh, this is Gunzburg, which you can get here, slightly mauled for the PlayStation as Mobile Laser Force, something like that, with like the Charlie's Angels cover. But this is the original release. A really fun shooter, top-down shooter. Well, let's skip the rest of this box, and let's move on to this. See what we got here. Pick out something at random. Oh, Ridge Racer Revolution. Nothing really special there. I'm a fan of the Ridge Racer series. Didn't want to let that one go. Oh, the Typing of the Dead. I actually have a keyboard adapter, but not an old enough keyboard to get it to work with this. This is House of the Dead, but you type words instead of shoot a light gun. There's also a demo of it for PC. A lot of fun. I think they re-released it like 2 years ago, too. What's this? Oh, Shenmue. I think we all know what Shenmue is. Virtua Tennis. Oh, I love this game. Friend's coming over tomorrow to hang out with me while my wife's gone. And me and him, when this first came out, played it for about 8 hours straight one Saturday. We just sat in my room, and that's all we did. Rally Chase. This is not as fun as I was hoping. NeoGeo CD top-down racer, arcade racer. The problem with this, the sound effects can get kind of annoying, and the controls are tricky. It's fun. It's better than the PC Engine one, which I forgot the name of. Probably one of the better ones you can get. I haven't tried the Jaguar top-down racer. I like this art style, though. With little cars, they skid around. I got a soft spot for it. What's this? Oh, Fighting Vipers 2, 3D fighter. Wasn't released here for some reason. Part 1 was on the Saturn. This is it, Rally Championship. This would be really fun if the sound effects weren't so god-awful. There's this one repetitive noise that's supposed to be the engine, and it will just drill into your head. Difficult, too. Oh, here's another Ridge Racer. Rage Racer. I'm guessing I probably had these all in order so I could just save the whole series. Yeah. The very valuable Ridge Racer series. What's this? Oh, Sengoku Blade. If you like, well, is there a term for a shooter that uses humans instead of machines, instead of planes? You play as a person that somehow fires weapons, kind of like in Akai Katana. I'm not sure. Great game, though. I see. What's this? This is a NeoGeo CD game. Oh, Real Bout 2, one of my favorite fighters. A spin-off of the Fatal Fury series, or is it a direct sequel? I'm not sure. Very good. Look at his eye. Look at that. What is going on? Wow, that's a crazy eye. Let's skip to this box. I'll wrap this up in a sec. Oh, Devil Dice, a cheap release. It's a puzzle game. Haven't put too much time into it. I read really good things about it, and I found it for about $5. Treasure Hunter G is a really good Square Super Famicom game. However, this is a duplicate. I own it, and I had it modified to play the fan-translated version on my Super Famicom or Super Nintendo with the adapter, but the problem is that won't work in my Retron 5, so I picked that up for a few bucks. That has the original EEPROM in it, so I can just apply a patch. Sternwind, I remember I grabbed, I think, the last copy or second to last copy when this is for sale, before they got like 6 more in. I enjoy it, but I have some friends that enjoy it way more than me. Dragon Spirit, shame there's no screenshot. Top-down shooter where you're a dragon, oddly enough. I love the cover to this. That era's art style was fantastic. But I had this also for the NES growing up. These are really cheap if you want the PC Engine version, and they're a lot of fun. Oh, speaking of which, Dragon Saber, the follow-up. And let's do one more. Street Fighter Alpha 3. Of course, I'm going to keep this. I have the Saturn version, but this is a great cheap alternative. Tons of modes, tons of characters. I still prefer 2, but this is a blast. Well, I think I'll wrap it up now so I can put all this away. If people care about this, I might go through the big bin to show those. But if not, thanks for watching. And now I have a lot of cleaning to do.